Recording in progress.
Okay. Lisa, a roll call, please.
Hey, Director Coverdale.
Here.
Director Feldman.
Here.
Director Mueller.
Here.
Vice President Reynolds.
Here.
President Michelson.
Here. Okay, let's rise for the pledge of allegiance here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay, public comment. We have no one in the room, and do we have anyone remote? I'm guessing not. So we could proceed to item number 4, please.
Okay. I am going to hand this off to Jeff, who will introduce our guests.
Thank you, Mary. Very quickly, we're here tonight for the board to receive the 2024 water rate study that was completed by Water Resources Economics, we refer to them as WRE. Sanjay Gar and Nancy Fan are on the call. Turn it over to you, Sanjay, in just a moment. Very quickly, as you well know, this is a culmination of quite a few working sessions with the Finance Committee and staff and WRE, as well as the larger board. We've completed a 5-year financial plan that involved utilizing the interactive model created by Sanjay and Nancy Fan, and that enabled us to assess various combinations of rate increase assumptions and capital financing assumptions. And with your guidance, we were able to come out with a plan that allowed us to then roll into the cost of service analysis, which again enables us to ensure that we are allocating and recovering costs based upon our customers' use of our system. And that's a terrific amount of work that the team has gone through. You have seen the results of it. Lastly, we completed our rate design. No changes to the fundamental rate structure, but guidance from you with respect to building 3 years worth of rate adjustments that are reflected in the rate study you'll see tonight, as well as water rate shortages. So quite a bit of work has gone into this effort that is culminated in tonight's presentation by Sanjay and Nancy Fan. So with that, we'll launch into the rate study documentation, which again supports and provides support and transparency for the public to understand how we've arrived at our rate recommendations. So Sanjay, take it away, please.
All right, thank you, President and board members, staff, and public. It's my pleasure to be here to present or to provide you a copy of the report. My appreciation for Nancy for assisting us on this important project, doing all the hard work. So let's get started. You can hear me well and clear?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. So the report, has lots of components behind it. It has an executive summary, covers the main results, process, recommendation, but then it goes into the details, and that details are the financial plan, which is the revenue requirements, how much revenue we need to collect under current status quo, base case, and the proposed cost of service, allocating the cost proportionally to each customer, the proposed rates, the water shortage contingent rates too, if needed, and all additional appendix. This report is, it is tedious. I'm sorry, but it's that administrative record, and that's the importance of this report. Is that hopefully no one ever sues you, but if someone sues you, this is your defense. This is the report that you would submit to the judge in the court, and it supports the increase. It provides the rationality. And we want it to be very defensible. We want it to be logical. We don't want any black boxes or like a leap of faith. Someone can just follow the math and see how it's done. Of course, there might be individuals who do not agree, but there's a logic here and a rationality. And that's the key thing. There's a nexus of proportionality, and we justified it. So as I mentioned, the reason why this is important is because of Prop 218. We need to show that. It shows all the report details, and it's the legal challenge. I might have jumped a slide here. Why it's so important. Pat, has provided comments. We greatly appreciate it. Staff has provided comments. That's greatly appreciated. And so we feel very strongly about this report that it meets those requirements. And also it helps customers if they want to take the time. And some customers do read it. Usually there's a few customers in your service area who will take the time to look through it. And I think, Nancy, that's it. So we're here to answer any questions that you may have. We can open up the document and share it and go over any questions that you may have or anything.
Well, my fellow board members, did you guys all get through it? And do you have any questions?
Questions or comments?
Comments?
Yeah, I feel really strongly that this particular report has been vetted a number of times. We've looked at it, we've re-looked at it. We've come up with some concerns based on recent information, for example, about Pillarcitos Lake, Stone Dam issues. We've seen money added to try to make sure there's adequate funding because it could radically change the cost of our water supply. We've seen back and forth with Nancy's been phenomenal. I mean, Sanjay, you're really good, but Nancy, I'm just, I'm not throwing you under the bus, but Nancy's been amazing. And we have gotten to work with her at least 5 or 6 times, running the model, adjusting the numbers. What if, oh my gosh, what's the worst case scenario? We've really batted this thing around. And I feel extremely comfortable with the product. I want to tell you, Sanjay, I tried to read it. I got to page 47. And frankly, I didn't fall asleep. I just found I had a twitch in my neck and I just couldn't get beyond it. And I mean, I'm fairly educated, but maybe it was too many years ago. But I appreciate the detail. I appreciate the backup. And I appreciate the thoroughness. We worked with you a number of times. And I just have confidence in the quality of the work. I know that Mary Rogren and staff have, threaded this thing through a fine-tooth comb. And I feel comfortable about it. I'm excited about what we're proposing. And I feel like the drought rates or the shortage rates or however you want to, typify that, I think they're appropriate. And I just feel really confident about the product. I feel like we got good value for our money as a district, but we also got real support for what we believed or thought. And it's numerical and it's calculatable and it's defensible. And so I frankly feel it's a wonderful work product. And I think it can give us a lot of confidence going forward that these are the appropriate numbers that are required. We'll really need to keep the district on track.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. I did get through a little more than page 4. There's 112 pages and very, very well done in my opinion. And I think the key on one of the pages here under costs of service analyst, I want the public to know and our customers to know that the industry's best practices suggest a new cost of study every 5 years, so we're on the button there, right? So I want them to know this just didn't come up overnight. We really, all of you reviewed it and well said there, Dr. Coverdell. Thank you for putting it together. And then my wife goes, why are you counting the pages? Because I want to talk to Jeffrey about the 112 pages and the professional.
I would talk to Nancy Pan about that.
Yeah, but it showed how thorough this district is when it comes time for our customer base. Thank you.
Thank you. Bob?
Now, I want to second Kim's comments about vetting this thing. We worked this to death and further. And I think that we took every avenue we could to make sure that it met muster. And I agree with everything you said and John says. And I think that it meets muster and it does the job, and there's nothing here that I would want to redo or do differently. And I think that
it serves the purpose and it gives us a good basis for our moving forward with our rate structure and 218 approvals.
Thank you. Do you have any-
Yeah, a very quick comment. I think what's really key to this is that we state right on page 3 at 5 it is, that it's a revenue neutral. And so what we're doing is we've got really comprehensive breakdown of what our costs are, both operating and capital improvement, because we're obligated to maintain the system and be prepared for emergencies. And we then balance that in a really clean way against the revenues that are both present and projected. And when I look at this graph on page 4, it really cheers me up that we're matching that really well. And I want to thank everybody involved for putting so much time into our capital and operating costs so that then we could develop quality revenue projections to match that. And I think it's important for the public to know that this is the very tenet of quality revenue neutral budgeting.
No, thank you. And I do want to thank you for emphasizing the revenue neutral component. You know, we are not a for-profit. I mean, sometimes it's hard for the customer base to understand, you know, you're raising our rates. Well, we're not raising them to raise a profit. We're raising them to keep the business moving forward, the business of serving the highest possible quality water to our customers. We're not in this to make a profit. We're just want to be revenue neutral. We've done this in the public's eye. I mean, you know, thanks to, you know, legislation, 218 legislation, we've been very, very transparent about this. I would imagine after adoption tonight, this will go on the website, I would imagine.
Well, the next step will be at the August meeting.
Right.
We will ask the board to set a public hearing, which we are targeting now with schedules for the November meeting. So we will present the 218 at the August.
Yeah, so I invite the public, if they
And
feel so inclined, take the time to read all 118 pages. We have nothing to hide. We are absolutely transparent here. No, thank you to everyone involved. Sanjay, Nancy, thank you for giving us cover. No.
and the full report is with our agenda package tonight. So
Yeah, it is, Bill. Thank you. Okay. Moving forward from here. Do we need a motion? I don't believe we do.
No, it's just-
You're just receiving the
Yeah, you're just
report. The
receiving the
action will
report.
happen next month. You will set the public hearing and authorize the distribution of the Prop 218 notice. So tonight, you're just getting its report. It's a confirmation that you support what's in it, and there's going to be no change. So when you see the Prop 218 notice, there will be no surprises because it's exactly what's recommended in this.
So based on the comments here, I think we are all. All right. Thanks for that.
Thanks to Nancy and
Okay, guys, take the rest of the night off.
Sanjay. Take care. Thanks a lot for the help.
Hey, Sanjay, you got to change the picture on your Zoom meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't recognize you. I didn't know who you were. Who was that young guy?
It's like a real realtor.
Take it easy.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, now comes the fun part.
All right, it is 6:14 and the board is going to convene into closed session pursuant to California Government Code Section 54956.9 subsection B4. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, initiation of litigation, 2 potential cases.
Once you get to stairs, you got to go.
That's all it's in.
You're in, all right.
Wow, congratulations.
You're in crowd.
Recording stopped.